Greetings, all! Today, we will be examining the exceptionally rare Grass-type Pokemon Chikorita, its equally rare evolution Bayleef, the two collectively known as the Leaf Pokémon, and the equally rare final evolution Meganium, the Herb Pokémon. While they might look fairly harmless for the most part, the members of the Chikorita family are surprisingly sturdy creatures that can more than take a hit in battle and last longer than one might initially think. Chikorita have squat, light green bodies with 4 small legs having a single nail in each foot, as well as a small, stubby tail. There is a ring of dark green seeds around their neck, and the head is topped with a single large green leaf which complements their large red eyes. The evolved form, Bayleef, have a similar body form with a more yellowish beige body color and a much longer neck. They retain the same eye color and mouth structure, but the leaf has grown in size with notches in it, used to amplify the sharpness of their razor leaf attack. Additionally, the seeds that once ringed their neck have started to sprout and exist in this stage of development as a ring of green tree shoots with the leaves still tightly curled into a cylindrical form. Their final evolution, Meganium, also have a similar body form with darker green skin compared to Chikorita and 3 claws on each of their feet. Their mouth is a bit larger than before, and their eyes have turned a yellow color, their head losing its leaf and instead being adorned on their forehead by a pair of antenna-like forms with yellow bulbs at the end. The ring of shoots around their neck has vanished completely, being replaced with a single large blossom-like plant form with a pink base, frilly white outer edge, and a trio of 3 pointed orange markings near the base of their neck that spread out like a ring across the surface of the flower. The members of the Chikorita family are interesting creatures in that, while they do very much appear to be animalistic in form, they are more like plants, and the reason why is actually quite startling. They weren't always like this. As it turns out, these creatures are unique in that their evolutionary line originally consisted of pure animals, with a skewed gender ratio of 8:1 in favor of males, and they seem to have lived an herbivorous lifestyle. However, it is believed that some sort of environmental shift caused the plants they primarily fed on to be severely depleted, forcing them to find some other way to gather the energy and nutrients they needed in order to sustain themselves. Though perhaps not the most conventional solution to this problem of food shortages, these creatures adapted to these changes by starting to develop the power to use the same chemical processes used by plants to produce energy, namely photosynthesis, cutting the actual food requirements of the family and allowing them to thrive into the modern day. Because of this, these creatures are effectively true plant-animal hybrids and are able to use different energy-producing processes in order to get what they need to grow and develop, and it seems to have worked well. On the one hand, they do get access to a fairly diverse array of plant-based moves that allow them to make the most of their pure grass-type assignment. On the other hand, the fact that their bodies are highly animalistic because of their origins means that they can actually utilize some fairly brutal physical attacks, like Body Slam, and as a whole, have much sturdier forms than most grass-type Pokemon possess. Because of their close connection to their plant-based powers, these creatures are among the few species of Pokemon able to possess the rare Overgrow ability as a base ability, while those that are more inclined to make good use of their plant-based powers to heal themselves regularly in strong sunlight can also have access to Leaf Guard as a hidden ability. In terms of stats, and looking at Meganium, it can be said that while these creatures can definitely throw their bulk around and make good use of some physical attacks, their offensive strength still leaves something to be desired, so their base attack and special attack stats are below average for fully evolved grass-type Pokemon. However, on that same note, the bulky forms are quite sturdy and give them a decent amount of stamina to work with, plus they are able to move their bulk decently fast on the battlefield, so all of their other base stats are above average for fully evolved Pokemon of their type. They might not be as hard-hitting as other grass-type Pokemon, but these beastly plants can nonetheless make themselves a powerful nuisance and difficult to take down in many cases if they cannot be attacked with super effective strikes or at the very least hurt before they can raise defensive barriers to protect themselves with. The large leaf that sits on the head of Chikorita is effectively the lifeblood of these docile Pokemon, as it is where most of their photosynthetic cells are located. Without it, they lose the ability to use photosynthesis to procure energy, placing them in critical danger. Even so, these creatures do not mind simply laying in any one spot that gives them access to the sun. In fact, they can often be found out in the open or in secluded areas in forests, simply basking in sunlight and soaking it in as they rest their bodies, additionally using their leaf to analyze the humidity and temperature of an area to find the best location for them to comfortably sit in. These creatures mainly use their leaf as their primary way of attacking with their grass-type powers, learning the razor leaf attack at a fairly young age, and thus making them a decent threat for younger trainers to have to face. However, while they might wave the leaf around as a form of defense to ward off potential attackers, at the same time, these creatures release a powerful, sweet aroma from this leaf when they feel threatened or need to help others that has the effect of soothing and calming them. This scent creates a pleasant atmosphere around these small Pokemon that dulls the fighting spirit of others and makes them less likely to attack these small creatures outright, thus giving Chikorita either the chance to flee or a free hit or two against their opponent, helping to make up for their weaker offensive power. This is about the only way they can get the drop on opponents at a young age, however, and should thus be focused on as part of strategically using them in battle, as should their surprisingly early access to the synthesis technique. Bayleef do not differ substantially in their behavior and form compared to Chikorita, aside from having an even more animalistic form to their bodies and sturdier forms, as seen in their change from an EV yield of 1 in special defense to 1 in defense and 1 in special defense. But they are definitely better combatants as a whole, as they can use moves like Reflect to help beef up at least some of the defensive attributes and make themselves harder to take down. Their leaf has also changed form slightly to have a hard, sharpened edge to it, which assists them in delivering more potent Razor Leaf attacks. What truly sets these creatures apart from Chikorita, however, are the shoots that grow around their neck. These shoots, born of the seeds embedded in their necks as Chikorita, are actually tree shoots with leaves curled around them, and not only do these shoots assist these creatures passively by producing more surface area over which they can conduct photosynthesis, but, more importantly, act as a way of making combat more interesting for them, to say the least. Unlike the calming scent given off by Chikorita, the tree shoots on the bodies of Bayleef give off a peppy, spicy aroma that is designed to lift the spirits of others and put them in the mood for a fight, increasing their stamina and exciting them into a slight frenzy. While this can prove to be a drawback to at least some degree because it has the potential to make their opponents more aggressive, it is also a great tool in multi-Pokemon battles that can help get allies revved up and ready to fight even if they might otherwise be tired, helping to make these creatures good supporting fighters when in the presence of allies that need a quick pick-me-up to keep fighting. When Bayleef managed to evolve into Meganium, their EV yield increases by 1 in special defense, and the tree shoots that once circled their neck vanish, instead being replaced with a massive flower bloom. Why and how this happens is still not entirely understood, aside from the shoots just fusing together, but this allows these creatures to learn the Petal Dance attack as soon as they evolve, and even gain access to the Petal Blizzard attack with a bit of help or naturally late in life. In this state, these creatures go back to being like Chikorita in that they naturally produce a calming and very popular aroma from their flower that helps to relax and becalm anyone that dares to come close to them. In battle, these creatures will often use this to their advantage by releasing it close to an opponent in order to dull their fighting spirit and make them less aggressive, allowing these creatures to more easily withstand the attacks of their opponent, already helped out by moves like Reflect and Light Screen, and dish out some of their own. However, what really makes these creatures special is that they have the amazing power to revive dead and dying plants using just their breath. As it turns out, when these creatures exhale, due to their hybrid nature, not only do they exhale notable amounts of oxygen and carbon dioxide, but also several fertilizers produced in their antennae that are known for helping to revitalize living tissue, and even some of their own life energy. As such, when these creatures breathe on a plant that is deceased or otherwise in the process of dying, they can revive these plants back to full health. How they're able to even achieve this as a full process is still being researched, but it can definitely be said that it makes them a best friend to Mother Nature and a strong ally to play with when using more than one grass-type Pokemon on one's team. Though they might not be the most offensively powerful Pokemon of their type, the members of the Chikorita family are fun creatures to have around that can definitely help to calm even the most anger-filled of individuals. You might have to wait a little while for them to get access to their best attacks, but with their impressive defenses on their side, the wait can be worthwhile if needed. Just do yourself a favor and make sure that you only hang close to them when you really need to in battle. Bayleef might be able to give everyone around it the pep they need to make themselves a bigger threat, but hang around either other stage of their family and the calming, relaxing scent they produce might just cause your Pokemon to lower their guards and in turn put their creatures in the way of something that might prove to be a serious hazard to them if they are not paying attention. Thank you all for watching this video. It is always an honor to be able to speak with you all on the subject of Pokemon in a way that brings me great joy and happiness in my work. If you would like to keep tabs on past and future work, click that subscribe button, check out my work on DeviantArt, and don't be shy about following me on Twitter, where you can find pertinent announcements on upcoming work before it is officially posted. Links to both can be found in the video description. If you would like to support my work and help Miguel and I continue to produce more content for you and improve upon our presentation, please visit us at my Patreon page, which you can also find a link to in the video description.
Yeah, no.
With that, I thank you for watching and I wish you well.